And then I got home and I broke down and I called my mom and I'm like, I cannot believe we're here again. Because life has been quite something, It's not always as glamorous as you think it is. Warning: this podcast episode discusses sensitive topics, including mental health, abuse, and suicide. The content may be distressing or triggering for some listeners. If you or someone you know is struggling, please consider seeking support from a mental health professional or contacting a crisis helpline in your area. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome to the Heart to Mic podcast. I'm your host, Stephanie Cherono. Here we celebrate the power of authentic conversations, and together we'll explore our emotions, challenges, and growth through powerful storytelling. And today, of course, for this episode, I had to have my friend.
Hi everyone.
Keren Mairu. We've been talking about this podcast with this babe for a minute now, and yes.
Hey, episodes are out.
Can you imagine? Like, we've shot. Like, it's happening. So to be able to share this dream with you, I didn't have anyone else in mind to be able to do this first episode with, official first guest with.
I'm so honored, genuinely honored, because this is big, girl. I know it's going to be so big. I'm so proud of you, friend.
Friend, even that first episode. Yes, it's giving deep sighs, yeah. But there's so much to talk about with you. There's so much. But let's start with first of all, introduce yourself the way you would prefer.
Okay.
Yeah.
The way you prefer is wild. My name is Keren Mairu.
Mm-hmm.
I am a digital marketer and content creator. I love the Lord so much.
Let's go.
So I'm a Christian believer. I am also right now a fiance.
Cut the cameras, dead ass.
I just put that. Let me It's giving those first stages where it's just
everything is in the left hand.
Exactly.
Listen, guys,
Exactly.
I'm speaking. I love it.
I'm also a daughter, a sister, a friend. Yeah. A human just trying to make it through, man.
Yeah, just trying to make today.
Today.
We're trying to make today.
Grace just for today.
Just for today.
Kesho kona mashida zake.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy to be here. I really am.
How's your heart today?
Today, my heart is genuinely at peace and excited. We both go to the gym at 5 a.m. And normally, Steph is up and she's texting me, I've left the house at 4:40. And I'm just there okay, I'm really just trying to open my eyes. To pick up 5:20, 5:10, but I'll be there.
Yeah.
Today, I was up.
I saw your car and I said, Mashallah.
Yeah, I rapped with you. I said,
that's good.
Yeah, and I think it's excitement for this, to be honest. I feel secondhand excitement. I'm so excited for you. So it's
it's happening.
It's happening.
Everybody's
come. We have to be there. So today my heart is at peace and it's happy. Yeah.
Okay. So I just have an introductory question that relax, Chomi. Relax, Chomi.
Minute 5 minutes to sweat.
Relax, Chomi.
How is your heart today?
I feel great. I feel great that I've gotten the first episode out of the way.
Yeah.
It feels like I've been holding on. Like I said, it's there's a facade that I've been living. It felt like that. I know with social media, it is not an obligation to share everything. But I think when you're put in spaces of influence, I think influence comes with a lot of power.
And responsibility.
And there's a narrative that we can hold and carry. And when it's just everything is glitz and glamour and we never really connect with the things that are happening in life, I think we lose it there. So I think I've had that innate urge to just, it's like a itch.
Yeah.
I'm let's just tell the story.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I even said after we finished shooting that episode was and not to be morbid or anything, but if I die, I'd rather die.
Sorry. Let's keep going.
You should see her face. But if I die, I'd rather die knowing that I told my story. And I think not knowing when and how long I would possibly live
in the uncertainty of that, I'm like, I'd rather do that now. Because if not now, then when? Which is why even like the last post I did, I was like, the time is now. Yeah.
Are you feeling lighter?
I feel lighter. I feel more open. I feel like the world will get to see me for who I truly am. And that my scars are there to not only empower me, but they're generally part of the story. It's not like something that I'm putting behind me, that I'm hiding. Yeah. And I know that based on the feedback that we will see, I think we'll get good feedback.
I believe so.
I'm believing that the feedback will be nice, because I know as women, we go through a lot of things, and the many things that I mentioned in that video are either geared towards women and men, but also going towards the fact that we talked about mental health and where that is at, and opening up about like my experiences and stuff. I think that would be very empowering and impactful.
I think so too.
Even now as in Sharon Mashira says, as segue. So now that we're done with mental health, now we are there.
We're segueing.
How's your mental health
right now?
Yes.
Oof. Right now it is in a very funny in a very funny place, right?
Describe funny.
I have low lows.
I feel
Sorry, are you hearing my stomach?
It's okay. Did you hear her tummy? We're about to have lunch, guys.
Okay, almost there. Shikilia. Anyway, I've been having some very low lows. And like, I would even go to the extent of saying like depressive episodes where like the sadness is genuinely overwhelming, the anxiety is out of this world. And I think it's more triggered by like certain circumstances in life. But then it's like a balance, because like 1 week I'm an absolute wreck. Like,
and you do a good job hiding it. And I had to call you out recently. It's a good thing, but also a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because I do that as well. So it was only maybe last Sunday that we sat down and were like, hey, girl, we're really going through it.
Yeah.
But before that, I was like, I think this hyper independence that sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you don't want to be a bother to someone.
You don't want to be a burden. You're like, I'll figure it out. It's okay. I'm sure they have enough problems.
Yes.
Where am I
adding to them?
But like, that's the whole point of community.
That's the whole point of friendship.
Like, that's come up to say in those times.
What is the point of me being a friend? Let's start there.
Yeah, but it's so like, you want to help you, but me.
Nisawa.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. What triggers this lows?
I think the anxiety is definitely uncertainty about the future, which is obviously what anxiety is. But when there's seasons, stepping into like a new season. So I'm about to step into a new season.
She's about to get married, guys.
I'm about to get married.
She's your whole wife. And a disclaimer, how old are you now?
I'm 24. I'm 24 years old and about to be married. And what's so funny is, I was talking, we're shooting a video with Zia.
Africa.
Yeah. And she was telling me that, oh my goodness, like you're the age that every girl like dreams of, like
getting married.
And I was telling her, that's never been my dream.
Oh, me, I thought by 26, I bought the house friend, I bought the car, I'm married. I'm probably expecting my first child.
No, I knew, I said I would have those things, but never the husband. Like,
oh, wait, so you're going to have children?
No children. So I like, I knew I'd have the house, the cars, the business.
Yeah, but not the man.
Never the man.
Yeah.
And I remember like there's someone who had called it out. And I was like, I think you're being dramatic. Because he said, Karen, whenever you envision, I'd ask you about the next 5 years or 10 and you tell me these stories.
I'm never there.
No, like, there's no man.
Oh, I thought it was personal to them.
No. It's not to them. Well, kind of, but it was like, there's no family.
Yeah.
There's no like, you envision, because like, it was like, yeah, my sister and I are in Paris because there's this. And then he's like, what happened if your sister? I was like, okay. But then now, being called out like that, I was like, okay. So even this season has helped me understand that, yes, I had a fear of marriage. I had a fear of commitment that I didn't realize I did. I was very avoidant of the marriage. Like, like the whole marriage concept. Like
But deep down you knew you wanted to get married.
I knew, but I was just like...
Especially when you met this one.
Hey, this one, yeah.
This one you started thinking... You really immediately started thinking about
I'm married.
I could be a good wife.
Which is crazy. But then and then especially now that we started getting very serious is when I realized, I have some demons to fight before I can say yes. And I think because I am blessed to come from like a 2-parent household, I assumed that I can't have like those issues. But I also did see breakdowns of relationships within the marriage. And I think sometimes there's a lot of harm also in a setting that's not how do I put this? I think there's harm in seeing the setting and it's not
as glamorous.
You see the depths of it.
Like then, what we were talking about earlier, sorry to interrupt you, but like having a present father physically, but not a present father emotionally.
Exactly. Okay. So I think sometimes you're like me to believe like, but yeah, like I've seen a marriage of however many years my parents are married. I'm okay. But like I've also seen
the downside of it.
I've also seen the scary sides of marriage, and it's definitely made me like, I think it made me get to a point of,
do we really want to do this?
Like,
but you know deep down you want to do it, but also at the same time there's fear.
It's a fear. It was just the fear driving. So now that I am here and I am working towards marriage with my wonderful fiance,
shout out to you, babe.
Shout out to you, baby.
You know your name. You know yourself when
there's just a lot of like uncertainty, and that's what's been causing a lot of anxiety. And then just now, things happening like in my family life.
And we will talk about that.
Hey, friend.
We will talk about that.
Anyway, so like
we're on the mental health.
Mental health for now.
We'll get there. Yeah.
So some disappointments in those areas.
Yeah.
Also, like, again, you think healing is a journey.
It is.
You think you've overcome all these wounds.
And you're like, let's go.
Right? But then one small thing triggers you and you're like, wait, there's that part.
I thought I had dealt with.
Yeah, there's some, what's this word I was using the other day? Like, when?
Side effects, triggers?
Like, opposite of like love is?
Hate?
No, like, it's like abandonment, but not. Anyway, but I realized like there's some like feelings I've been having, like things I've been carrying, that even though yes, I've forgiven and I've worked through it, like this showed me actually, dear, there's some work to be put in. So that's what's brought like a lot of like the bouts of depression here and there. But it's like been here and there because one week I'm so happy to be alive, you know, like happy to be here.
That's mental health for you. Like it's one day high, the next day low.
Yeah, and then I think just because it's not like the severity that I've experienced in the past, I'm like, I'm not that bad. Like, I'm okay, but
hey.
But
yeah. How are you dealing with the anxiety at the moment or the depressive states?
I think right now I am just doing, you know, the things that therapy teaches you that you have mentioned before. Yeah, like the feeling yourself, the journaling, the talking about it. And it has been helping. I've just been, very honestly, I've been balancing to see, okay, how, like, are those things working? Or do I need to talk to a psychiatrist? You know, do I need to get things to help me? You know?
By things you mean medication.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Do I need to get medication?
I'm here trying to break the stigma. You're like,
things. Sorry. Even me, I'm stigmatizing my heart. Sorry.
Let's go. We're on a journey.
So seeing if I need to get medicine to help me navigate. But I think because it's been up and down, I'm still
trying to figure it out.
I'm balancing, seeing what's up with that.
What's your history with like medication?
Ooh, she's gone there. So in 2016, I think I have like a very big past with like mental health issues. I'm going to the extent to think that might not be like a chemistry, like something in my brain, chemistry imbalance, because I had my first suicide.
Chemical imbalance.
Hey,
girl.
We are smart girls.
Yes.
We did well in school.
We went to school.
Forgive us. So,
chemistry.
It sounds right, but chemical imbalance. There we go. Because I had my first suicide attempt at the age of 8. And I look back at that girl, I'm like, you were so young.
What was bothering you at 8?
I did not, still a work in progress, relationship with my mom. And I think now when I look back, I'm seeing like she was going through a lot. You know, at the time I was like, you're the one who decided to zam me. Me, I didn't force to be here. Now,
can you do your job?
Exactly, right? But it also like, I remembered that season she had just given birth to my sister. And then my dad was working in a different country. So she was raising us alone. But like, I didn't see that, plus working a full-time job. But I didn't see that. I was just
You also 8.
I was also 8, right? Yeah. But now in that, like, my dad was now not here. So the only parent I have is my mom. But because of everything going on, I think finances were tight and everything. She unfortunately vocalized. I don't know in what ways. I can't fully remember. But I just know I felt like a burden and I was tired of it. I said, you know what? I don't want to
bother you.
Yeah, another time I didn't have the thought process of like if it's like the fact that you're stressed about my school and all this, like that's a you problem, not me. But I think also maybe like being an empath, I deeply felt that I am such a burden here. What would fix this situation
is if I'm not here,
is to go. So it was so funny that night I decided to I was 8 years old. I didn't have any context, any idea of what to do. So I remember I went to bed with a knife. And the plan was I'll sleep with it like this, because also I didn't like pain. Like I keep saying my pain tolerance is of 5-year-old.
Even to choose a knife for someone who doesn't like pain, it's like maybe overdose on pills.
Right, but
something.
I was 8. No one told me those things. So I decided to I'll sleep with a knife, and then at some point in the night I'll turn and it will just stab me. You know?
Yeah.
I thought
it's giving movies. Like
I think I watched this up and I said, that's what I'm gonna do.
It works. Yeah.
Foolproof. And I said, tonight is the night.
Yeah.
And I remember in that season, my mom was not very affectionate to me. But that night, she's like, can I hug you good night? I was like, no.
I got a knife, babes.
It was like,
can you chill?
And it was I tucked it in because I went to the kitchen and put it in my pants, put the shirt over. And I was going to bed. I mean, I had a brain, just, But then now she's like, can I hug you good night? I was like, not tonight. Let's, good night. Mwah, I love you. She's like, no, I want to hug you. I was like, and I know it was just God working. I was like, bro, I'll just hug for how long? Tonight. Tonight. Anyway, so I hugged her and she felt. She said, what's that? I was like, it's a ruler. She's like, oh.
Why is it there?
I'm like, no, I just did not forget it. I gave a childish excuse. I was a child.
Yeah.
And she's like, let me see. And I showed her the knife. And she said, huh? What are you doing? And till date, we've never had the conversation because I didn't have the heart to tell them, it's you. So I just made up a story that I was being bullied in school. I was a fat kid, so I knew that would fly.
Well, fat kids are cute.
Fat kids are cute, but sometimes on a pitiango. So I made up the story that I was very bullied and I wanted to change schools and that's why I wanted to kill myself. And I mean, that was believable. It ended there. So now I changed schools and I was like, okay, that didn't work. And I don't know why, from that, I just I gave that whole story a break. I think maybe the new school helped. Maybe the environment was bad. Yeah. Maybe. I have no idea. I just went to a new school and I didn't want to kill myself anymore.
Yeah. Change of environment can do wonders.
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did. And I was like, wow, okay. Yeah. I like it here. Because then went through school, finished high school. I was a pretty smart girl. I remember I worked hard to finish high school by 15. Because I just wanted to get over it.
15 is wild, guys. Let's start there. Wait, friend, you finished class 8 at 14. You wanted to finish at 15, how?
So now I managed to, I was put in an American system. Okay. But you got your own pace. So I managed to skqueeze my...
You're those index ones.
But mine was more I found school very annoying. So the faster I get out of here. Can I get it done with?
Yes.
So I was I found an opportunity to do school in 2 years and I high school and I said,
I'm taking it.
And I was, again, overachiever.
That makes a lot of sense with who you are right now.
Right?
It makes a lot of sense because I think even when we started becoming friends, I said, it's the same way I think about you and Steph. I'm like, why am I friends with these children? Not in a bad way, but I think in my head, I'm assuming that I need to be friends with people who are either 26 and above or 26 thereabout. But I found that I was gelling so well with the way you think and even the way Steph thinks because again,
that's the Keren.
It took us further.
Yeah, it did.
Clearly. So did you actually finish early?
I did finish early.
At 15?
Yeah. And
that's
then
crazy.
my goal was to go study medicine.
Ooh.
I wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon. I'll never forget. I don't know what it means anymore, but that was the goal. It was for the heart, yeah. And I remember I even came up with it was not true, but I came up with a sob story that because my grandma, and I convinced myself, because my grandma died from a heart disease, I'll never let anyone else in the world
die
from heart disease. So that
Savior complex.
I said I can save the world. Anyway, so now, but actually, let me just go back. In high school, I do remember that's when I started my self-harm.
I was gonna ask if that was the last suicide attempt or because there can be suicide attempts it can be a self-harm without the intentions of suicide.
So the first self-harm was I was so impressed. I found a way to manage my emotions.
Through pain.
Yeah. Because I think I really struggled to, because I wanted to just look like you can touch me. I
Fast
never
body.
cried. Yeah,
Let's call it fast body.
Fast body, I didn't want to be seen crying, right? So how I would deal with emotions was cutting myself. And I started that in high school. I was like, this works. And I was very like...
And is it... Okay. For me, like Chinyamaji under the waters. For international listeners.
Under the waters?
Under the waters.
Low
like
key.
Low key. Like I think for me, how I thought about it was I can cut myself, but I think with my wrist it was I'm not cutting myself to death, but I can't bleed to the death.
Okay.
Like I had both thoughts in mind, because to some degree the self-harm was feeling. It was like I'm letting out whatever is here over here.
Yeah.
Were you thinking of how deep the cuts were, or was it like surface?
At first, no. At first it was very like, they were very juju, but I really enjoyed like, okay, this is like about to go dark, trigger warning. I really enjoyed like wanting the blood, but then also the pain. I was like, okay, I can feel now. So like I remember a big point was like when my grandma died, I was struggling to like feel, and also irritated. Like I'm trying to, like I don't know how to feel.
Like to grieve.
Yeah,
basically.
to grieve. So, but I realized that I can, when I cut myself, I feel the physical pain, and I feel like that's my release. Like now I've felt the pain, and I can now move forward. And I started using that, and then I kept using it. Then obviously I met some boyfriends who are like, "Don't cut. If you cut, I'll cut too." And I was like, "Okay, for you, I'm not going to cut."
Whatever you are, chill. Chill. If you cut, I'll cut
but
too.
we're like 15.
Okay,
valid.
Also have okay, sure.
Yeah, I was like, even having a boyfriend that time, I know.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, mom.
I said chill, but then I remembered. Chelo, let me not talk. Why are you judging?
Okay. It's who we are now. That matters.
Words. Put that on a t-shirt.
Put it on a t-shirt. My ass, thanks.
Yeah.
But then now, so that's like now my mental health issues. But I'm still okay. Just that's how I was coping with things. Fast forward, I remember there's even like they tried to get me a counselor because a friend who like snitched on me to my parents
that you're cutting yourself.
That I was cutting myself, and then I was just like, I'm okay, like
relax. It's
like,
not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So they let me alone.
So you didn't eventually see the counselor? I
saw her, but I was just there like I don't know why they brought you here. I'm fine. But like thanks.
Were you able at 15? Were you able to pinpoint what exactly was triggering you to the depths of like cutting yourself?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we're cognizant at that age.
No, yeah.
Like of awareness is like is it abandonment or is it like
No.
mommy wounds or daddy
Literally,
wounds?
no.
Yeah.
I just knew I don't know how to process emotions.
Then this is how I'm
but
gonna
this
do
is
it.
a nice way to do it.
Okay.
Glad I found it, right? Now, Keren's become a doctor. Things are not working. I have reached out to many universities abroad. Girl, I'm telling you, the overambitiousness started to you when
I love that.
I even had like some unis come to see me. I said, yeah, I'm like a start. Like, I'm a child genius. Believe me.
Yeah.
You need me. I will change your school's name. You know, all those
change
things.
your country. Leave the school.
America.
Yeah. The big dream.
Yeah. And we had conversations, and I remember I got like, I think it was like a 70% scholarship, 80%. I got really nice scholarships. But that's the thing with the private unis in America, is even with the scholarship, the amount left is still a lot. So at the time they're telling me that, yeah, they've given me a scholarship, but then the total for the 4 years left was still a few millions. But I don't know how much, I don't think I knew how money works, and I don't think I cared. So I was like, hey, like,
I got this. They just want 4 million.
Only, but I've done my part. And the thing is, I've
saved
so
you
hard.
20.
I've saved them a lot, if you're asking me. But anyway, I thought I had worked so hard. I had done my best. And I said, look, I've done everything I can. I've gotten these scholarships. And I remember at first they were like, that's still expensive. So I kept working and working and working. And I think I finally got like a 90% somewhere. But there was still like a big amount. And there are many other things that I do not understand, and I don't know if I even want to anymore because I believe in God's like will for my life and His purpose. But
disclaimer: you're already going to America now. Like,
okay, hold it, hold it.
Anenda.
Come on, let's release the information,
okay.
Bado.
Oh, but itakuwa July.
July
post.
Probably
End of July. Okay, yeah.
End of July itakuwa me.
Yeah.
Anyway, but you see, God's will. Anyway, but in that time, like that's all I wanted, right? And then now, because I've not been receiving attention at home, I've been an overperformer, overachiever. doing the most I can to get there. I'm proud
attention,
of you. To get there, I love you. To get there, like
we all did that.
Hey, like this is where you're overperforming. So I knew like this was I've gotten here and I'm going to be a doctor and everyone's going to be proud to have me as a daughter. But then now the dream was crushed. And in Kenya, I would have to do. They're not going to accept even though I'm going to accept my degree, what's it called? That uni, whatever, in like UN. And that's where medicine was being offered. So I remember the day my mom sent me, because I kept trying. Then there's a day my mom sent me a text. And I think it said, Karen, to be honest, this is not going to work. And that broke me. I remember even seeing that message. I was sitting like on a staircase in the house. We lived in Jammu those days. I remember I just felt my heart break into a million pieces. I felt like everything I worked for is coming to crash. I had, like you said, I'd planned my life out. I knew how it was going to work. I even knew I was going to write the book like Ben Carson. Like I saw till the end.
Let's
right?
go. We're still going to write the book.
We're still going to write them, just not about medicine.
Not about the heart.
Yeah,
though.
about other things. But I saw all this and then my dream was just crashed. I remember at the time I was already like having a lot of like mental health issues. I was getting like sexually harassed at work. At now 16, 17, I got a job at 1FM. And I was just like, no. So I remember that day now, that day? Yeah, that day I decided to try OD. And God has a plan for your life, friends.
No matter what you do,
there's nothing you're doing to get out of here.
Mimi nilimeza painkillers.
Right, same.
Yeah, because I knew if my body would overwork and we did it. Yeah.
And I was like, worst case scenario, coma.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that.
And even with that, you guys would pull the plug because it's expensive.
Exactly. I thought it through.
I can't believe we're laughing about these things. But but I think for me, how I did it, other than the cutting, it was just I was constantly overdosing on pills.
Like, and then I knew like there's a certain mg. So I knew if I took 10 of this tablet we had,
that's it. Yeah. We're done.
So one day I said, Nicha hivyo, I don't want to be here anymore.
Ukaenda kanunua mara moja.
Because I had found some in a cabinet somewhere. I said, I've done the math. According to this, I need 10 today. Worst case, coma. And that's okay. I'll deal with that one. Yeah. I probably won't recover.
Yeah.
Remember that day I was taking them throughout the day because I'm also not good with medicine. Man,
They swallowing.
They swallow. They were big. But I was like, Keren, we got this. So I remember I took the first 4 in the house. I think the first like 6 in the house. And then I said, So I carried the rest. I went to work. I took the remaining 3. Then I had 1 more to go. Remember that day I was going for a Coca-Cola media briefing. I'm telling you, I was having blackouts. Like, I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm standing. But CG, we left town. Now we're in the bus where I don't even know where this Coca-Cola place is. I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Like your brain was zoning in and out.
Yeah, and I was like, it's working.
I'm about to die. Guys, let's not.
I mean, no, sorry, we're not going to make jokes of it. But I was like, okay, we're going. And then I finally took the last one. And long story short, nothing happened. All that happened is
You're here.
I'm here anyway. But I literally just woke up at 2 a.m. with the most excruciating stomach pain.
Because now they've done the mukorogo inside your tongue. Even for me, it was just severe diarrhea.
Right,
that's it.
It's painful.
It's painful diarrhea. It's a hot one. It's like you've taken pili-pili.
Yeah.
It was really
bad. Like a stabbing in the stomach. And I was like,
yes, the sharp pains.
It was really bad. And then after that, what did I do? I was so mad. Remember, every morning I would wake up and tell God. Actually, it was every night. Like, God, I don't want to see you tomorrow. Like, I know you love me. I want to hang out with you. Like, just... I don't want to be here tomorrow. I don't want to be. I remember it was the prayer every night. Like, God, I really don't.
At this age, how old are you? At this point, how old are you?
At this point, 16, 17. Between 16 to 17.
Oh, we were really going through it.
Right. I was like, God, I don't want to wake up. I really don't. Anyway, then finally I decided, I mean, that's why some shoes should not be used to teenagers. 13 reasons why. I said, so she cut her wrists.
And she bled.
I can do the same. Just that I didn't know it.
You have to. It's not...
I didn't know it's supposed to be like this and don't do this at home.
Please,
but
no self-harm.
I decided, okay, you know what? I'll never forget. I said, I've lived 17 years and that's as long as I'm living. I'm going to cut 17 like strokes. So I was going, by 13 I'm in pain, man. And the blood is pouring out. I'm like, I'll keep going up, keep going. And then nothing was happening. And I remember I went to bed and I said,
I'll probably bleed to death.
Yeah. Again, going to bed is my solution. And nothing happened. And I remember that morning I woke up and my hand was numb. I couldn't feel it. And I said, shucks, now I have to fix this problem because I'm going to be here. I might as well have 2 arms. So I remember I took the car, I went to hospital. They asked me what happened. I was like, none of your business, just fix it, right? They're like, you know, like if it's what we think it is, we're going to have to And I was like, listen,
Yeah.
I just fix me.
Mm.
And then the doctors were very kind. They gave me like therapy, psychiatrist numbers, and then they put the bandage, and then we moved on. And I'll never forget now. The day after, my dad came to, I think he was just saying bye. So he just came, knocked in the room. I was like, oh, give me. I went to open. I was very sleepy. And that whole season, when you're in self-harm, you really like wear long sleeves
So
t-shirts.
you can hide. Yeah.
So that day I'd gone to bed with like, I think a dress, or night dress. And I was not thinking about it. So I go open. And then he sees the bandage. I'm like, wait, give me a second. Because in my head, I'm like, he hasn't seen it. So now I go wear my gown. He's like, and I could see like balancing tears in my father's eyes. Whew. Like, I'll never forget the look on his face. He's like, Keren, let's talk. And so like I was just like, man, like, one, I'm seeing his heart is broken. But like,
I think even from the POV of a parent, especially because you're not aware of like the things that your child is probably struggling with.
Like the pain in his face. I literally saw my father, like, I've never seen that much pain. He's like, Keren, come and talk. That time I was just like, oh my goodness. So we went and sat, and he was like, what's wrong? I was like, I just want to be here, man. Like, I genuinely do not want to be here. And very aware man, he told me, okay, because also my father is a pastor in a big church, and I didn't want any of those counselors. I didn't want anyone from
that
like,
even knows. My first counselor that my mom recommended, I was like, she was her SU classmate and I was like, Mom, she's gonna pick all your business, and then now we'll be the talk of.
Exactly.
Let's not.
It's not about me like spilling my secrets. I'm worried about.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's you we're trying to protect. So like, mtoto wa nani?
Exactly.
She's going through it.
Yeah. So I'm telling him I don't want anyone to know. He said, you know what? I know a psychiatrist. I don't know how in 2016, 17 he was aware of psychiatrist, but he said, he's the guy. He doesn't know me, but I know of him. Please book an appointment. Okay. Just promise me you're going to go see him. Just promise me you're going to go see him. And then I said, okay, Dad, for you, I'm going to go.
I'll try.
Yeah, I said, I'll talk to him. So yeah, that's how I went to a psychiatrist. But I think he was a bit dramatic. But I was diagnosed with severe depression and anxiety.
Oh, that's not dramatic at all. You were trying to end your life,
that's
girl.
True. Like, that's true. But it's like the level of meds now that they put me on was like the numbing, where you can't feel any emotion. You can't feel the joy or the sadness.
And the reality is that I don't think people talk about the journey of finding the right medication for yourself. Because it's a literal back and forth. It is. I've been very lucky that this time I got medicine that actually works for me. But last time it was just the roller coaster of emotions, and then sometimes I just not feel anything. Yeah. And it was a combination.
That's the thing. Yeah. And then I'd also like get so dizzy. Like there was just so much going on. I said, I mean, I don't rather feel pain, but this, I felt like a zombie. Like I just had no.
You're just existing.
Like I remember when, like, what shocked me is like, even if my stomach was like boo, take me like 5 minutes to like
turn,
like get the feeling of shock. Like I couldn't process that. It was very, very weird.
So those ones are definitely not for you.
They're not for me. I think maybe like the dosage was too strong, but they just didn't work.
And
for
I
me.
think with what I've realized with this recent like psychiatric appointment that I had is that you go in dosages. So she gave me the least one first,
to see,
and then depending on how I respond to it, then we can increase it over time depending on whether or not my body is not responding to it. If not, we can maintain the same dosage.
I think that the psychiatrist panicked and was like, she will die.
Yeah.
Let's just
take all of it.
Take everything.
Yeah.
So I remember just like, I was just not myself. And then I was still keeping it a secret from my mom because there's still like the mommy wounds there. It's still like there. We don't have a relationship. I don't want you to know anything.
Did you have an assumption of how she would react?
I just didn't want her in my business. I don't explain out. Like also like if we get into the details, you play a very big
role in this. Yes, because so, like, if we start the class 8 one,
we start that one age 8, man.
And if I didn't start there because of you, then we wouldn't be here.
And then I also really did feel like the rejection from the opportunity abroad was not just a financial thing. It was like a just no.
With no reason.
I was not given an explanation or reason. So I was like, you know,
do you just not want me to go?
Exactly. So that was now my reasoning, and I was like, here, no. So yeah, then I just, I told my dad, I'm done with this country. I just don't want to be here. So he found a discipleship program. I found one in Malawi. And again, shout out to my dad. He really did save my life in that season, like genuinely saved my life. He was like, where do you want to go? I said, I want to go to Malawi for a discipleship program. Because I knew that would be easy for them to say yes. It's like a mission
discipleship
program. Yeah, Jesus. I was
how does that look like?
I didn't know.
For how long?
Just 12 weeks. I was just happy to be. No, actually, I had gone for just one month to volunteer. That's what I went to do. I said, I want to go volunteer in Malawi. I didn't even know.
That's so random.
Right? But I knew like there's a center there. Yeah. And I knew it's like church stuff. They can't say no. I'm doing good for...
Dad, you're a pastor.
Yeah. You're going to refuse me to serve. I'm a missionary in this season. Anyway. So my dad was like very kind. Literally in like 3 weeks I was out. And I was in Malawi. And that's where dope. I truly found God. That's where I really found like I really felt God. Like till now, I think sometimes you have to be so low for God to hold on to you. You know,
Let's talk about it.
I think it's in that depth that I really, really experienced God. And till date, like yes, I have a relationship with the Lord. The good days, bad days. Let's say I have a great relationship. I'm like,
I saw it coming and I said,
let's not lie.
But generally, I think you do. I think it's just in certain seasons we fail to feel His presence.
Yeah.
And His presence is... I was listening to a podcast and this girl was basically saying that sometimes as Christians, we expect God to show up in a certain way. And when He doesn't, that officially translates to abandonment.
Exactly.
You don't love me.
You don't love me.
You don't like me.
That's crazy.
But maybe He's showing up in different ways. And even silently and not as loudly as He has before.
And what's crazy is faith is not about feelings. It's not about, I don't feel you this close anymore. It's about, I believe you're here in the storm. Even in the unknown. But in that season, I felt it. I'm telling you, I used to do like Bible study walking. Also, it was a really nice thing. I was doing Bible study walking by the beach. And I'm telling you, I'm walking with the Lord. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, it was here. Like that connection I had with God. That's why, like, even though
it set the foundation.
Even though, because again, I've grown up a pastor's daughter. I've been in church my entire life. So what I know is my dad's religion. I know our parents. Yeah, I know the God of my parents, not Keren's God. But then God showed me, okay,
I'm your God.
Now you met the God of Keren too. And that's why even though...
How old are you now?
Now I was not yet 18. I was like
17.5.
17, yeah. That's 17, 16, 17. I think, no, I turned... Yeah, I was 17. Yes, I was
turning
17.
18
Yeah,
now.
so I turned 18, but I was 17 in that season.
You've also lived. Hey. You know the way you were talking about my first episode, you're like, hey, you've lived like 9 lives. Friend, we've not reached her 24.
24 too.
And there's already like so many things you've experienced. Right? Wow.
But now that's not even saying, even like through like whenever like life gets hard and I'm at like backslide a bit, I still know God. I don't explain like
that experience changes
you and forever, and I'm very grateful. So yeah, that's when I remember. When I left Kenya to go to Malawi, I told God, listen, these meds are finishing me. Like they're finishing me, right? Yeah. So I'm going to leave them here, and you're going to heal me. And I don't know how, but I'm going to go without them. And if that's where I'm going, if it's gonna be in Malawi, that story ends.
That's fine.
I tried, but I'm not taking this. I'm trusting you. Yeah. So yeah, that's now in like the depth of the mental health. Like when I really like even got the psychiatrist and medicine, and then now in that season, God fully healed me. Like I can't even deny that. Like where I was, hey, just needed the hand of God to get me out of there, and He did, and it was so beautiful. Then I went through uni life, and I had like bouts. Like,
what did you study in uni?
I studied journalism. Do you know why I chose that?
Why?
So I was like, you just have to go to school. I said, fine. You're going to SIU. I said, fine. So I called my friend Grace. I told her, you're in SIU.
What are you doing?
No, what are you? Like, what students do you think have the most fun in school? Like, which students, like, they're
having a great time.
She said,
journalists.
She said, like, the journalism students, I feel like I see them flying drones. They seem to have fun. I said,
that sounds good.
People used to say I can talk well. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that's why I signed up. I had no passion, no desire, no longing. Nothing. I just thought it was a fun course. Yeah. And I knew like I was creative. Yeah. And I was like,
journalism.
Yeah.
And I guess you guys are going to see me on TV.
Literally, I said, I guess. I mean, Lord, I'm trying to be humble, but...
Pretty face.
If you want to use my beauty for that, it's okay.
There's seasons where God wants to use your beauty.
Yeah. And now just segue. I feel like everything we have is for a reason.
Yes.
Like even our beauty is it's for a reason. Yeah. And like not like only in the vanity things. Yeah. But like even like to draw people to Him. I keep saying, I know, like I was telling my mom that it's so annoying sometimes that the videos where I'm looking better when I have makeup on and I'm looking nicer, have wider reach. And I'm saying it's annoying me. But also I know that cuteness I'm putting out there is what's like bringing people to listen. And then they're able to share God's word. You know what I mean? Like, in all of those things, that's what it's
there's this one video that you did that I think is in the millions now. And I remember you were looking at that video and you were like, I don't know about this Jesus content.
Man,
and
what are you saying? And then now it did
so well.
Yeah, like the first video I posted of a verse, it was in my challenge, 50 days of Mairu, and I didn't have a video. But I had recorded that in the house.
Let me post it.
For fun. And I was like...
And it did so well.
It did so. And I was like, oh, okay. Remember I told God, this one
but
gets to
I don't know what it is, but I think a lot of people are going back to God, if not going back to God, but like people are trying to figure out their relationships, to even just build a relationship with God.
Like, I don't know how to explain, but now is not the time to backslide. Like, now is not the time to backslide or like...
just not have any belief system at all. I think
now is not the time.
It's very evident that God is working, especially in our generation.
He really is.
People
and I think it's for a reason.
People are genuinely looking out, and they're looking. What you mentioned earlier is that like you had a relationship because your dad was a pastor. I had a relationship with God because every Sunday we had to go to church. And my mom, literally the minute she wakes up, she said, Stephanie, once, if she comes again and you're not awake,
that's for church.
Yes. It's like, we have to go to church. And I remember the minute I turned 18, I said, oh, you're about to. I'm not coming to church with you. But it's also because I was like, I have a relationship. You have the relationship with God. I don't have the relationship with Him. I'm only fortelling your faith. But the minute I initially decided, okay, I want to have a relationship with God, that now changed everything. And mom was like, I've been praying this prayer for so long because I didn't want you to find God. But I was like, it could have only happened if I wanted to as well.
Yeah.
So it's so good. I think it's so dope these days when I see Christian content and I just see people shouting out their life, their achievements, everything that's happening in their lives to God. And they're just like, I can feel the favor of God in my life. And I'm like, wow.
It's so beautiful to see.
It's so nice to see.
Beautiful. And I feel like it's for a reason.
It is.
Like, I'm not like to scare anyone, but like, the revival is crazy, friend. Like worldwide, we're seeing big people coming to Jesus. All I'm saying,
if the time is now. What I said, the time is now.
It's now.
The time is now to at least try, at least begin the journey of that. So now that we're talking about God, and I think we're having this conversation about like the aspect of hoping or praying that God, and knowing that God is the healer. He can heal quite literally everything.
Yeah.
And when it comes to mental health, we have recently struggled with the idea of us being fully healed from it. And I don't know what your thoughts are on that. And I think for me, before you say what your opinions are, I think for me, I only came to the understanding, especially after the breakdown and everything recently, I was like, but I don't think these psychiatrists have been put in these places for nothing. I think they've been put in these places to be vessels in one way or another. And again, the video that I sent you, that in moments that there are situations where God can heal you from things instantaneously, like quite literally you'll say, I've quit smoking today and you're done. And then there are situations that will have to happen gradually. And that process is there for a reason. There's always a reason for everything. I don't know how you feel about
Let's go there. I remember I came here on that Sunday and we were just crying.
Oh, we really cried.
Did I cry on this couch?
We cried.
We just wept.
We cried.
And why that was is I relate so heavy with that because one, I have seen God heal me from this before. Like I have seen Him take away that, because it's genuinely just a dark cloud that you can't seem to get out of, and like a state of fear that you just can't seem to, I've seen Him take that away in almost, I would say it an instant. Like I went to that trip, I came back, I was a new woman.
Yeah.
Another one, like I always try sweet talk this, but I generally do believe I was a functioning alcoholic. And one day,
I saw your page. There's a page that my friend here has. It's new. The one you've changed the name. Oh, the archives.
Friend.
Everything was just cocktail shots. And you had really like I don't know how to put the word. It's like freaky poses. I was like, girl.
No. What do you need to get into?
I said
no. Hey, what do you need to get into? The season. But like, kwanza the alcohol and like I don't even say this out loud, but I began drinking alcohol so early.
Oh, same.
At like 14.
Oh, not that early.
And my
Where were you getting this alcohol?
So my best friend, we started with, I don't know why we started, but I remember we would send her driver to go and buy for us a quarter. And then we would drink it, get silly drunk, and that's it for the day. Then we started like her parents had drunk, right? So she would like put in her water bottle every swimming day. Oh my goodness! My former principal is watching this. Yeah, that was the joy.
So you're not going for swimming because you're going for swimming. You're
we love swimming there because
like a pool party.
It was a pool party. Like the day I could fall on the grass. And it's like it was so bad because we're there like. Kwanzaa girls part is for people we have initiated freshly, trying to dress them up. Like, like that trauma. You will do this.
You're used to this. Yeah. It's the newbies that are embarrassing you.
Like, that
sounds like alcoholism.
Right? At the age of, right? So like I was already like drinking alcohol very young. Yeah. You know, in my home there's never been alcohol in my home.
Same here.
So how I was like
same here.
Sneaking it in.
During COVID, I was telling my brother this. I mean, you were there when we were at the hospital the other day. And I remember during COVID, I was doing so many live videos and I was late. But mom didn't know that like I was sneaking in and I got even the number for like the delivery guy. So like he'd bring then me, I rush to the room.
Yeah.
There's one, she found a 2-liter in the fridge of wine, nothing crazy, of wine. And she said, I don't know. I have never drank alcohol in my life. We have never seen alcohol in this house. You've said not only are you bringing it, you're storing it in my fridge.
No shame.
So you know what? Take it. Sit here. Finish it. And you know, the headache that comes, you know, because wine drunk is like slow and like a glass or two.
Calm.
We're easing into it.
As soon as you're like wine drunk.
A 2-liter bottle to finish it. And then the next day, it's like my head is as heavy as my body. Mm-hmm. She was like, now you know, never to do that again in my life. But then she first came, but that's another story.
Those things. Like I've never seen alcohol in the home.
Yeah.
But I was really sneaking, like, I don't think my parents ever knew till, like, when I was, there's a day I did come home drunk, my 17th birthday. But, like, till then, like, they had...
Never known.
Because I'm not going to lie.
Girl.
I was a smart girl. Yeah. I could come around
your ways.
Anyway, so now when, like, the healing happened from depression and anxiety, I said, Ata Pombe, by the way, I don't think it's helping me. I'm going to take a break on it. I got to uni. I went to USIU.
USIU, literally, I'm a trainer funky.
USIU funky.
You know, every single time my mom was like, you're not going to USIU and you're not going to Juja.
Oh, Juja.
You're going to just end up smoking a lot of weed and then USIU, you're just going to be a drunkard. I said, sour.
I mean, we had the best lecturers, the best, like, facilities for
school, no?
It is. It is. Double accredited and everything. I won't lie, like, the schooling, at least for my degree, was next level. I really enjoyed school, like, the learning stuff. But then after class, you know, first of all, our school would close on Thursdays. Like, that's when the last class is there.
Yeah.
And then I lived near school. So from Thursday, friend,
Hadi Monday.
Like, there are days, like, from the dunda to the class. Just get a change, shower in.
You enter class.
Yeah, entering the class.
Functioning alcoholic. Is that what triggered your journey of, like, sobriety?
So what triggered it is, now, when was it? 2022.
And also, how long have you been sober?
That's the crazy question. So I've been sober since the 1st of January 2023. That's when I took my last tequila shot. I made sure I ended right, you know.
You know what it is.
Tequila shot.
Yeah.
Kept it classy-ish. And since then I've been sober. Not a single drink, not a wine glass, not anything.
Nothing.
And just an instantaneous thing. But what led me to that actually was, now I realized that in 2022, when I was drinking, like I was drinking and I didn't like...
Kila siku.
So 2022, I was drinking a lot. And I want... To cope. Yeah, I'd actually just had a bad breakup that year. And I didn't realize it was a bad breakup.
You don't know until you're there, guys.
You don't know until you've left, actually. Because it was a 3-year relationship. But I don't know why, in my head, it was like because, you know, like as a lady, sometimes you check out a bit earlier. So that when it's finally over,
it feels easier. You didn't feel anything. You're good.
I assumed. However, I realized later that I did take it out on alcohol and other bad things. So now it became crazy. I also worked at a media house, and media people,
they love to drink.
And then now, I remember in my corporate job, I hated that. On Fridays, I was always hungover. Like, it was routine. Everybody knew it. And I didn't like how I was drunk. I didn't like how much I was drinking. Just that entire thing, I didn't like it. And I remember whenever I would try to get sober, it wouldn't work. Like, I would say, no, I'm not drinking. Today?
Nimeacha pombe.
Every
Kenyan.
Yeah. After I'm back home.
Yeah.
And every week, I'm back to it. So I remember the time I was saying, I was like, you know what? And now I'm looking back at it as it was conviction from God. I just didn't realize. I said, you know what? I'm done today. And my plan was, actually, shout out to IRIP. It was an episode with Sharon Mashu, and she said she's super curious.
Yes, I think that is where my curiosities began.
Exactly.
Twin,
shout out to her.